Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
Sounds like this evening could be dicey for some drivers. Let's go now live over to Hutch to get the very latest on the forecast. Hutch, what have you got?
Well, Andrea, the First Alert Storm Team Skycam network keeping its eyes on the skies for you. And in the Devil's Lake area, this snow happened very quickly. It moved in and it laid a little layer of icy goodness on the road surfaces out there. So it's moving eastward along Highway 2. And this is the Dunseith area, so not alone. Mainly, most of the accumulating snow is taking place along and north of Highway 200. And there's Botno, by the way. We do have winter weather advisories posted for the valley. This is until the evening hours. And here's a look at the latest radar. This is all moving eastward. It's moving at a clip of about 40 miles per hour. And if you take note where the white and dark blue colors are right here in the middle, along Highway 2 and south towards Highway 200. Those are big snowflakes, heavy period of snow making its way through. But because it's a narrow band of snow and because it's moving quickly, I don't expect much in the way of accumulation over a half inch to an inch as we go through. Now, where we see the pinks here along and north of I-94 is some ice potential as it makes its way toward the valley. In the 6 o'clock hour, Grand Forks, Fargo, and into Richland County will see some of this wintry mix of precipitation making its way through. It moves into western Minnesota as we head into the 7 o'clock hour, and then into the 8 o'clock hour, we'll be moving towards places like Roseau, Warroad, and Bemidji. Now, as we take a look at temperatures, notice we have near freezing readings across the I-94 corridor, so I really want you to take it easy on those area roads, streets, sidewalks. On-ramps and off-ramps will be the first to get very icy across the area. We'll have your hour-by-hour forecast in a minute, but be prepared for some early evening showers of rain, sleet, and snow across the valley. Hour-by-hour details in your forecast show that we'll have yet another chance of some unsettled weather, and we'll detail it coming up here in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Hutch. Police have confirmed with Valley News Live they found the body of a man they believe to be missing from Moorhead. Marwan Assad was last seen November 12th. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley joins us live from the scene with much more. Bailey?
Yeah, Andrea, as you can see, it's a fairly active scene here still in the 2900 block of 17th Street South in Moorhead. This is where police say that they believe to have found the body of 28-year-old Marwan Assad inside a garage here at the Southmore apartment complex. Now, police say at this time the death is still unknown circumstances, but police did tell me earlier today that Mr. Assad does not have any known mental health issues or concerns, and several family and friends here on the scene have told me that Mr. Assad lived, quote, a perfect life. They say that he left behind a 2-month-old child and say that he would never do anything to himself to leave behind his wife and his 2-month-old newborn child. Now, police say that the body here at the scene will be taken to a local medical examiner for official identification and then an autopsy. We'll continue to keep you updated here on the scene. For now, reporting live in Moorhead, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
All right, Bailey, thank you for that live report.
Because, I mean, some kids, if they struggle, they get frustrated and they quit. You know, they get that shutdown or, you know, I can't do it.
As COVID cases surge, school districts are sending more staff and students home. A Fargo parent reached out to our whistleblower hotline after his son was out for 3 weeks. Valley News Team's Courtney Lockie dug in to see what schools are doing to make sure students don't fall behind.
Corey Heelsman has an 8-year-old in the Fargo school district.
He's just started going back to school yesterday.
His son's been out for the last 3 weeks after being exposed to COVID-19.
They sent him a spelling list, and it's like, whoa, from the 3 weeks that he was out of school, the words are way harder and way larger than what he had done previously.
Heelsman worries missing this much school is putting kids behind. Something concerning for school leaders as well.
It is not the same. Definitely it is a concern anytime we have students out for an extended period of time.
Associate Superintendent Missy Eidsness says the district is making sure students have access to materials and a teacher.
There isn't really a choice when we have a quarantine or someone is ill.
But technology is limited and quarantine time varies.
The only activities that he got when he was out of school was on Fridays. Monday through Thursday is just
Teachers are required to reach out to a quarantining student once a week, something both school leaders and parents agree should be upped.
One idea that they're working on at the secondary level is basically a virtual help center.
Eidsness admits it's an area needing growth. Adding summer school might be something for families to consider, as learning from home proves challenging for many students. In Fargo, Courtney Lonkey, Valley News Live.
School leaders in Fargo say they're using money from the CARES Act to get more technology to give students learning from home better access. And if you need help with an issue in your community, call our whistleblower hotline, 237-6576, and leave your tip. A member of our investigative team will get on the case and go to work to expose the truth. The president of the University of North Dakota is urging students going home for Thanksgiving to stay there. In a letter to students this afternoon, he shared that all finals are being moved online with no exceptions. President Armacost is urging students with online courses not to come back until the spring semester. He says students with campus requirements like flight training or labs, or those otherwise choosing to stay on campus after Thanksgiving, should not travel. Staff are encouraged to work from home. He also announced that next month's commencement ceremony will be virtual. On a Minnesota college campus, a helicopter and search dogs are being used tonight to find a suspect police believe may be armed and dangerous. It's happening at St. John's University in Stearns County. A lockdown has been in place most of the day. The suspect was stopped by a trooper who suspected DWI. After a breath test, the man punched the trooper and took off. They stopped his car using spike strips, but the man bailed from the car and ran. During the chase, officers say the suspect may have shown a gun. They're now searching for the suspect near the university. An elderly man is recovering after his pickup was sideswiped by a semi in the Northern Valley. 72-year-old Jack Wallum is being treated for severe injuries. The North Dakota Highway Patrol says he pulled out in front of a semi onto Highway 15 near Mackville yesterday afternoon. Troopers say the semi-driver tried to swerve to avoid hitting the pickup, but ended up sideswiping it. The semi left the road, hit a power pole, and knocked down electrical wires. Neither the driver nor an 8-year-old riding in the semi were hurt. The coronavirus has taken its toll on a lot of us, but for some, it's had a serious impact on mental health. CBS's Ian Lee shows us how a care farm in England is helping kids cope during the lockdown.
Sunshine and fresh air can sometimes be the best medicine, especially when you get to pet a donkey. With these wide open spaces, care farms can stay open during the pandemic, offering kids struggling with mental health issues a new start.
I had a lot of stress issues, high stress levels, quick-fire snaps, anger.
Care farms aren't just petting zoos. Kids are put to work feeding chickens, building rabbit pens, and of course shoveling, well, you know what. And those who run the farm say it's making a real difference as England endures its second lockdown.
They couldn't take Zoom therapy sessions because they need a relationship with people. And when they came here, you could see that they were just so thankful.
Nursing student Abby Edmond knows what it's like to be in these kids' mud-covered boots. The farm gave her a lifeline when she was young.
I'd either be dead or in prison if it wasn't for this place.
She recalls finding a lot of open ears here.
The cow can't tell my secrets.
And care farms don't just care during the pandemic.
Loneliness and isolation. It's a pandemic at the moment on its own.
They help at-risk youth year-round, offering a dose of friendship to heal the heart. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
Care farms are popular overseas. There are thousands in Europe. The concept is starting to catch on here in the U.S. too. Fargo County Public Health is holding a walk-in flu shot clinic tomorrow. It runs from 10 in the morning until 1 in the afternoon. Appointments are not required, but they are asking you to register ahead of time. Flu shots will be available for anyone ages 6 months and older. The high-dose vaccine is available for those ages 65 and older. You can find more details on our VNL News app. President Trump's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, and other members of his legal team held a news conference today to allege widespread voter fraud across multiple states, including Pennsylvania and Michigan. The team claims it was a nationally coordinated effort to tamper with the presidential election. Giuliani is promising major lawsuits in Georgia, Arizona, and possibly New Mexico. The Trump campaign has repeatedly seen their claims tossed out of court due to a lack of evidence.
Because there's not a singular voter fraud in one state. This pattern repeats itself in a number of states, almost exactly the same pattern, which to any experienced investigator, prosecutor, would suggest that there was a plan from a centralized place to execute these various acts of voter fraud.
Giuliani says he has hundreds of affidavits on hand and says President Trump has a viable path to victory. One big box retailer wants to help you plan for Christmas without having to leave the couch. We'll tell you the new services they're offering next.
Flakes are flying and they're on their way. We have a time lapse of the Devil's Lake area as snow pushed in and covered the roads very quickly between 4:20 and 4:40. Upwards of a few tenths of an inch of snow fell. Your hour-by-hour forecast is coming up next as we track this system through the valley.